because I think we all agree that we'd all love to see Tiger Woods.
Yeah, let's talk about Tiger Woods.
Let's get a little more positive.
Let's get us more together.
Or are we
again.
getting positive? I guess that's the question.
I mean, Tiger Woods is back.
Tiger Woods.
For me, it's positive.
How many times are we going to say Tiger Woods is back? Because he's not back anymore. He's back
at a tournament. He hasn't played since
He's returned
Genesis.
to a tournament.
Yeah.
I think that's a key synonym. Like, he's returned to this tournament. He's not back. He's back. He's always going to be back because he's not going to play any tournaments.
But I'm very excited for what Tiger can do this year. I mean, the Genesis was a great
The Genesis, he
start.
finished T45.
Is it death taxes Tiger makes the cut?
Oh, Tiger is making this cut. So Tiger, to me, he's a two-shot, and I forgot, someone on CBS Sports said this. To me, he has a two-shot advantage at Augusta because he's taken every shot there possible. He's played it so many times, more than anybody else.
You say the same thing about Fred Couples.
No, well, Tiger still has. Tiger can still outdrive JT, though.
Yeah, that's the difference.
I mean,
it's Tiger Woods. I mean, he's been top 10 14 times.
I mean, Tiger Woods
at the Masters.
Look,
he's
to
won
me,
it
the Masters is the only major he can ever win again.
I'm trying to find the odds for Tiger to make the cut.
Oh, he's making this cut.
He's going to make the cut.
I'm not. I know. I'm just
listen.
I
think the Genesis proved. I think the Genesis. We've talked about it when that tournament happened. It proved a lot about where he was health wise versus last year. I mean, we talked about him at the Masters last year. He made the cut the Masters last year, and then obviously fell apart on Saturday and Sunday. And a lot of that is due, almost all that is due to his physical condition. He was basically walking on one leg.
He was literally using his driver as a cane.
Yeah. So like obviously things are going to be different this year. I really do. Obviously he's not 100% healthy, but what he showed at the Genesis is that he can not only compete early in tournaments, but he can compete on the weekend in tournaments.
He shot better on the weekend.
He shot better on the weekend. He shot a 67, I believe, on Saturday. And I think that shows that he's progressed so much from a health standpoint to the point where I'm thinking, okay, I really truly believe that Tiger not only can make the cut, but I don't want to give away something that we'll have later on in the show, but I am very confident in Tiger Woods this year.
So shout out to Patrick Emeter, our producer right now. He just told me Tiger is plus 150 to make the cut. Wow. So he's an underdog to make the cut.
That's the easiest money you'll ever make in your life.
I mean,
yeah. You know what? I'll be betting in a few days.
That seems like
he's making the cut
because you're gonna get
Tiger Woods.
It's funny because I don't know. Yeah.
Also, just watching Tiger, and I don't know if you guys agree, but just watching him, it's different than watching a guy like Scotty. Who it's easier for Scotty when you see Tiger hitting those big draws and he's gutting it out and he shows the emotion.
So awesome.
It's the best thing that could ever happen to golf if he is, having a good week. I mean, you just see that the Genesis, which obviously it's a big tournament, but it's not the majors. I mean, it had like over, I think, 6 million people watching at one time.
And the crowds were huge, too, in person. I mean, the crowds, like, for Monday, for today's, like, we're recording this on Monday, the practice round, what was it? I think it was Tiger and I believe Rory,
Fred Couples, Tom Kim.
The crowds were huge. I mean, the crowds were massive for a Monday, and obviously that doesn't happen. I mean, the crowds would be there, but that doesn't happen without Tiger Woods.
And just looking at it, Genesis last tournament he played, correct?
Yep.
7,300 yards, because that's always the question, can he walk it? Augusta, 7,500. So kind of similar. Augusta's going to be a bit longer. 200 yards. I'm not sure how much of a difference that makes for a golfer. But he's had practice walking that length, and I'm sure he's been building himself up for the Masters. And like we always say, Tiger never will play at a tournament he doesn't believe he can win. So I at least believe he thinks he could be in contention after 2 days. So, I mean, him making the cut makes a lot of sense.
I think he's making this cut, and I know we'll get into it later in part 2 of our breakdown here of the Masters. I mean, I think he's going to be in serious contention, which I think is going to be great for the sport.
I hope so. I hope so.
Maybe I'm 1 year early. I think, look, if he ends up winning a major, I think it's the best accomplishment in all sports. I'll say that.
Wow.
You don't think 2019?
I think this would be bigger if he won this. He's literally has one leg.
I think it would be bigger.
It would be big. I would say it'd be bigger.
Yeah.
But you told me, I think we were talking about this.
In terms of an accomplishment.
Maybe for St. Andrews. I think the Masters, if he won at St. Andrews, I think that'd be probably bigger.
It would be, but he's not going to play.
I don't think he'll ever play.
I'm talking about last year.
Yeah.
And I don't think he could ever win at these
we've talked about this in a heavy. This is the only tournament I feel like This is the only major I think he could
I
still
could
win.
talk myself into having him maybe win, which
Yeah.
is crazy to think about. I mean, if he finishes top 20, that's the biggest accomplishment of probably anybody going into this year. If you say, Tiger wins, unless someone wins like all 4 majors and wins the Grand Slam or multiple, but if like 4 different people win a major and Tiger Woods finishes top 20 at the Masters, I think the biggest accomplishment in golf this year is Tiger Woods finishing top 20.
Definitely. I mean, obviously it's early in the year, but that's something that you could certainly say. I mean, it would be remarkable.
I mean, he's playing on
and
one
it's
leg.
It's not out of the question, which is what's remarkable. The fact that we can even have this discussion, and coming from where we came from last year, where we were talking about Tiger making the cut, and that was, at least I certainly was doubting it deep down because of his health and because of his physical condition.
I think
But
you were the
how
one
much-
person that said he wouldn't make the cut.
Yeah. Because I didn't physically, I didn't know how he was going to hold up. But obviously on the weekend it showed that he wasn't physically there, but he grinded out a couple rounds. And I think my point is that how far he's progressed over 1 year, I think really says a lot. He hasn't played a lot of golf, but physically he seems to be in a much better spot heading into this year's Masters, which I think says a lot about how he's progressed and the kind of competitor that he is and ready, like you said, Mike. He wants to go out and win this thing.
Well, to me, it's not even the golf shot. I mean, everyone said it's just literally can he walk the course.
Yeah.
It's not the golf
That's why I
shot.
bring up the yards. Like I don't care. I'm not worried about the holes. I'm not worried about is his iron going to be there? Can he putt? It's literally is he going to be healthy?
I think the putting
for the 4 days.
to be like, I think putting is going to be his biggest issue at any of these tournaments because he just doesn't play enough. So the speeds of just tournament style greens, which I think could be a problem with the live people too.
I was about to say
Putting, and we'll see how Cam Smith does. Obviously, he's known
Great with
for
putter, yeah.
his ability, but these greens are very, very different than just playing at your home course at wherever Tiger is or the Live Orlando event. Like these are the hardest greens in all of golf. But the one thing is he's played it so many times that he knows. So I think that's why I say this is the only place that he could probably win because he knows everything here at Augusta.